In a world spiraling into darkness, a righteous man is taken by angels on an unparalleled journey through the 10 levels of heaven, witnessing divine order, celestial judgment, and the very throne of God, becoming a scribe for a truth that would echo through eternity. Genesis 5:24, and Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. He was not. 4 words that defy all human experience. In the endless genealogy of men who lived and died, one name stands apart: Enoch. He did not end, he was taken. The Bible offers us this stunning mystery but leaves us with silence. But what if there was a witness? What if the man who bypassed death was first shown the blueprint of eternity? The ancient book of the secrets of Enoch claims to be that testimony. A journey not into the afterlife, but into the very architecture of creation. A voyage through the 10 heavens. In a pre-flood world drowning in shadow, the air was heavy. Strange, cyclopean structures built by the Nephilim scarred the landscape. Enoch, an old man with long, flowing blonde hair, comforted a frightened family whose harvest has been stolen by a giant, his face lined with sorrow, but his eyes holding a deep, unshakable peace. It was a world corrupted by a rebellion that began in the heavens. On the first day of the month, in his 365th year, he was in his house alone, resting on his bed. As he slept, a great distress entered his heart, and he began to weep, though he did not know why. Inside his dwelling he tossed fitfully on his mat, tears streaming from his closed eyes. Suddenly, he jolted awake, gasping. The room was no longer dark, it was filled with a brilliant, holy light. 2 majestic angels with brilliant white wings stood at the head of his bed. Their faces shone like the sun, their eyes were like burning lamps, and from their lips came a soft, flowing fire. Their presence made the very air vibrate, and Enoch, overcome with a terror that changed the very appearance of his face, fell to the ground.
Have courage, Enoch. Do not be afraid. The eternal God has sent us to you. Today you will ascend with us into heaven. Go and tell your sons and all your household what they must do on earth without you. Let no one seek you until the Lord returns you to them.
Making haste to obey, Enoch went out and gathered his sons. He stood before them, the 2 angels waiting silently behind him, their light casting long, strange shadows. He looked into the eyes of his son, Methuselah, his heart heavy with the weight of his final earthly command.
Listen to me, my children. I do not know where I go or what will become of me, but do not turn from God, and let no one think to seek me until the Lord returns me to you.
With his final words spoken, Enoch surrendered to his divine calling. The angels took him by the arms, their touch like a current of warm energy. They lifted him from the earth, their magnificent wings beating the air with a sound like a rushing wind. He passed through the clouds, the sky, and the very firmament of his world to the first threshold of heaven. The first heaven, the great sea. Passing through a shimmering veil that felt like cool water, Enoch arrived in the first heaven. The air itself hummed with a perfect low chord, a vibration he felt not in his ears, but in his soul. For the first time in his long life, he felt a peace so profound it soothed the oldest wounds in his spirit. Overwhelmed, he fell to his knees, tears of pure joy streaming down his face.
Such peace. I have never known such peace.
What you feel, Enoch, is the law of creation, the order of things as they were designed before any choice was made to defy it. Here, there is no chaos, only purpose.
Before him lay a boundless ocean, a celestial sea, not of water, but of luminous, liquid light that flowed in slow, majestic currents. Here, 200 powerful, muscular angels walked upon the light sea. Presiding over them all, seated on thrones carved from solidified light, were the elders and rulers of the stellar orders, their faces cloaked in wisdom and shadow.
The elders maintain the harmony. From their thrones they measure the seasons of all the worlds that are and all that are yet to be born. The 200 are the expression of their will. They are the governors. Watch.
Enoch watched as one of the powerful angels pointed a single finger and traced a glowing line upon the liquid-like sea. As he did, far above in the cosmic darkness, a new comet blazed to life, following the exact path the angel had drawn.
They command the stars.
They do not command, they enact. They are the keepers of the elements, ensuring every drop of rain and flake of snow is released with perfect measure.
In the distance, Enoch saw the great crystalline storehouses, each with angelic guardians at their gates. From one, he saw angels release clouds like white wool. From another came sheets of shimmering frost. A third held the treasure house of the dew, a shimmering mist with the appearance of the finest olive oil, and a scent like all the flowers of the earth combined.
This is the foundation, Enoch, the perfect law from which all other things proceed. But order is a choice, and not all have chosen it.
The second heaven, the prison of despair. As he ascended, the perfect hum of the first heaven faded, replaced by a chilling silence that seemed to absorb all sound. The brilliant light of his angelic guides dimmed, as if the sorrow of this new place was actively trying to extinguish it. They had entered the second heaven, a cold abyss filled with a darkness greater than any earthly night. Here, once glorious angels hung suspended. Their once magnificent muscular forms were now gaunt, their skin like polished obsidian that absorbed the darkness. Their great wings were tattered and broken like a bat's, barely holding them aloft.
The cold, it is not of ice, but of sorrow. Who are they?
They are the apostates, Enoch, our brethren who turned from the light. They were watchers, sent to guide, but they chose to betray their sacred trust.
Enoch looked into the weeping face of one of the fallen and was struck by a psychic flash of that angel's memory. A fleeting image of the same angel, his face not filled with sorrow, but twisted with pride and lust as he descended to earth, his eyes fixed upon the daughters of men. As the vision faded, the prisoners saw Enoch. Their weeping quieted for a moment, replaced by a desperate longing. They saluted him, their shadowy forms bowing in the gloom.
Man of God, pray for us to the Lord.
Enoch, his heart breaking with pity, looked at the weeping angels and then back at his glorious guides. He felt the immense weight of their request and of his own mortality.
Who am I, a mortal man, that I should pray for angels? I do not even know where I go or what will become of me. Who will pray for me?
Their fate is sealed, Enoch. Their sentence was passed the moment they chose pride over purpose. There is no intercession for this crime.
Enoch looked one last time upon the beautiful broken faces of the first rebels. It was a family tragedy on a cosmic scale, and here, at the very beginning of his journey, he was shown the two eternal paths, the beauty of divine order and the terrible final cost of defying it. The third heaven, the two fates. The chilling darkness of the second heaven dissolved into a warm, gentle light. The mournful cries faded, replaced by the sound of distant, beautiful music. They had arrived in the third heaven, a realm of two halves, separated by a shimmering, invisible veil. First, the angels showed Enoch paradise. Enoch gasped, his senses overwhelmed. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of every flower he had ever known, and many he had not. At the center of the garden, stood the magnificent tree of life, its form like gold and fire adorned more than any living thing. From its root, 4 springs came out, sending forth streams of pure honey, milk, oil, and wine. One of the 300 singing angels offered Enoch a fruit from a nearby tree. As he tasted it, the flavor was not just sweet, it was like experiencing the pure joy of his fondest memory.
This is the beginning, the garden as it was meant to be.
It is the heart of the Creator, Enoch, a garden of reunion, the echo of what was lost and the promise of what is to come for those who choose love and mercy. This is the intended home for all the children of Adam.
But then, they led him to the northern side, to the veil that separated the 2 fates. The beauty vanished. The sweet song was replaced by a dreadful silence, broken only by the sounds of rage and the chilling scrape of metal on ice. Before him lay a terrible place of cruel darkness, frost and shivering. Rivers of black fire gave off a dreadful glow, but no warmth. Here stood merciless angels forged from shadow and cold iron, their wings like sharpened stone, their faces grim and unmoving as they stood guard, bearing angry, fearsome weapons. As Enoch stared into the fiery rivers, he saw a ghostly vision flash before his eyes. A memory from earth of a cruel king, laughing as he burned a village. The vision dissolved, leaving only the image of that same king's soul now suffering in the very flames he once commanded.
The garden of love and this place of wrath in the same heaven. How can one God be the author of both?
Wrath is what men call it. In heaven it is called consequence. It is the law. Just as a star that leaves its assigned path falls into darkness, a soul that chooses cruelty builds its own prison of pain. God does not send them here, Enoch. Their own deeds lead them. This place exists because sin exists. One cannot be without the other when souls are given the freedom to choose. The Creator's justice is as perfect as His love, Enoch. He is the author of their choice.
The 4th heaven, the cosmic machinery. Higher still, Enoch was brought into the engine room of creation. The 4th heaven was a place of breathtaking mechanics and celestial armies. In the midst of the heavens, he saw armed soldiers of light, serving the Lord with the sound of timpana and organs, their incessant sweet voices filling the cosmos with a music of power and authority. Sariel brought him before 6 great gates in the east, each one intricately carved and taller than any mountain.
These are the gates of the sun, Enoch. The one through which it passes determines the length of the day and night for the world below. Its path is never random. It is law.
As they watched, a gate opened with a sound like 1,000 harps. A brilliant, blinding light emerged, and Enoch saw the chariot of the sun, a magnificent construct of fire pulled by 12-winged beasts of light called phoenixes and chorkidri. As the chariot passed, Enoch felt an intense, pure heat from them, followed by a gentle, cooling mist of dew. Their song erupted, a majestic chorus that vibrated through all of creation. And as they sang, every bird on earth below awoke and joined their hymn to the giver of light.
The power, the scale of it all, it has never missed a single day.
His promises are the same, Enoch. They never fail to rise. This is His faithfulness, written in fire across the heavens.
Then the angel showed him the 12 great gates of the west, crowned and glowing with a softer silver light. Another gate opened, not with a chorus of harps, but with the sound of a single silver bell. From it emerged the moon's chariot, a silent, graceful construct of silver pulled by beasts made of shadow and starlight. With it traveled an even greater host of 150,000 angels, ensuring its gentle light was never extinguished on its own swift path through the heavens.
But the moon has 12 gates, and the sun only 6. How can both be true measures of time?
Because the moon's year is shorter, Enoch, swifter. It marks the months, while the sun marks the great seasons. The difference is the secret of the great circles, a perfect divine calculation that turns for centuries, never losing a single moment. It is a harmony of 2 songs, sung together to measure all of eternity.
I saw that the heavens were not a single clockwork, but a great symphony of interlocking parts. It was a dance of fire and light, of power and precision, all held in a perfect, complex balance by the Creator's will.
The 5th heaven, the silent grief. The vibrant motion of the 4th heaven gave way to a somber stillness in the 5th. This was a realm of silent, unending grief. Here, Enoch saw the ranks of the Grigori, the watchers who had sinned but were not imprisoned below. They stood motionless, their once powerful forms now gaunt and frozen like statues of grey, cracked stone. Their magnificent wings were folded and petrified, unable to ever catch the celestial winds again.
They are not chained like the others. Why is their punishment a silent one?
These are the Grigori, who, with their prince Satanael, rejected the Lord of Light. It was 3 from this very host who first went down to the daughters of men and broke their vows. Their grief is their chain, Enoch. They are held here by the weight of the destruction they caused.
Having seen both the prison and the paradise, Enoch now understood the true weight of what these beings had lost. He felt a surge of divine purpose, and he could not remain silent. As the angels exchanged a glance of surprised respect, Enoch stepped forward, his voice echoing in the profound silence.
I have seen your brethren in the 2nd heaven and their great torments. I have heard their pleas. Why do you wait in silence? Why do you not serve before the Lord's face and put your services before him, lest you anger your Lord utterly?
The Grigori stirred, their withered, stone-like faces lifted, and for the first time in an age their mouths opened. As Enoch stood, a sound like 4 great trumpets blasted through the heaven, and then the Grigori broke their silence. They began to sing with one voice, a pitiful and heart-wrenching song of sorrow and repentance that rose from the depths of their despair, a sound so tragic and beautiful it went up before the Lord. The 6th heaven, the angelic scribes. From the sorrowful song of the 5th, Enoch was lifted into a heaven of unparalleled light and harmony. This was the 6th heaven, a place of knowledge and joyous worship. He saw 7 bands of angels, all very bright and glorious, their faces shining more than the sun, with no difference in their appearance or dress, a sign of their perfect unity in purpose. Here, Enoch witnessed the divine administration in motion. In their midst, a celestial host of 6 fiery phoenixes, 6 many-winged cherubim, and 6 six-winged seraphim rejoiced, their voices forming the foundation of a heavenly song of pure, unending joy. Enoch saw a group of angels whose forms seemed woven from water as they governed the celestial rivers and seas, and another group whose wings were like green leaves, tending to the life force of every plant on earth.
All this glory, this perfect order, to govern the life of a single blade of grass.
Nothing in creation is small in the eyes of the Creator. These are the archangels, Enoch. They are set above the lower orders. From here they measure all life and ensure that all of creation functions according to the great design. And when they witness evil, it is from this heaven that the commandments of righteousness are sent forth to instruct and to correct.
Then Enoch floated through a great celestial library. He saw the scribes of the Lord, their faces filled with intense concentration as they wrote with quills of pure light. recording the lives, deeds, and souls of every human.
And as I watched them write, I understood that no life is forgotten. Not a single act of kindness, nor a single cruel word is lost to time. All is recorded, all will be remembered.
The seventh heaven, the fiery veil. Beyond the harmony of the sixth heaven, Enoch was lifted into a place of unbearable brilliance. This was the seventh heaven, the threshold of the throne. Here, the incorporeal forces dwelt, the dominions, the authorities, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the many-eyed thrones. Their song was like a storm of fire, an ocean of praise that shook the very fabric of eternity. But Enoch, a mortal clothed still in earthly flesh, could not endure it. The light was too terrible, too holy.
Woe is me! I am undone. How shall I look upon the Lord of hosts?
And the Lord in mercy sent his archangel Michael to strengthen him.
Arise, Enoch, do not be afraid. The Lord has chosen you.
Michael lifted him up and anointed him with a fragrant oil, sweeter than any on earth. The oil shone like molten gold, and as it touched him, Enoch's earthly garments dissolved. His body became like fire, his face like lightning, his eyes like the sun.
I am no longer as I was.
Now you may stand before the face of the Lord.
The eighth and ninth heavens, the cosmic order. Thus transformed, Enoch passed through the eighth heaven, Muzaloth, where the angels of the seasons dwell. He beheld the living powers that govern the great cycle of time. Spring rose like a green-clad seraph, summer burned like a golden flame, autumn's wings were crimson as wine, and winter's eyes shone with the cold fire of stars. Around them, the 12 constellations moved like vast, living creatures, weaving the tapestry of the zodiac. Still higher he rose into the ninth heaven, called Kuchavim, the house of the heavenly lights. Here were the stars themselves, no longer distant sparks, but mighty beings of fire, each guarded by an angel of immeasurable strength. Orion strode like a blazing giant. The Pleiades clustered as a choir of shining maidens. The Scorpion unfurled its starlit tail across eternity.
The stars, they are alive.
And all moved in perfect obedience, for even the stars walk in the paths assigned to them. The 10th heaven before the face of God. At last, Enoch was brought to the 10th heaven, Aravoth, the highest of all. Here stood the great throne, not made by hands. Around it were seraphim of fire, cherubim with countless eyes, and legions without number singing an endless hymn. And upon the throne was the great glory, the Lord himself, whose face shone like iron drawn from the furnace, like the sun at its fiercest. Enoch falls once more, trembling in awe.
Enoch, my beloved, stand before my face into eternity.
And at the word of the Lord, the angelic host bowed as one, crying aloud,
Let him stand according to your command, O Lord.
And God spoke mysteries to Enoch, truths not revealed even to the angels. His words measured, vast, filling the heavens.
Before all things were seen, I alone moved in the invisible. From thought I shaped desire. From desire I shaped the word, and from the word came light, and in light all things took form.
As he speaks, visions of creation unfold. The abyss, the first light breaking forth, the firmament stretching, stars igniting.
I commanded the deep to bring forth water, and it obeyed. I summoned the foundations of the earth, and they stood fast. The sun and moon rose in their courses at my word, and the host of stars I set as signs, each in its appointed place.
Enoch watches, overwhelmed, writing with his fiery hands on a living scroll.
This is the mystery, Enoch. All that is seen rests upon what is unseen. Every throne, every dominion, every star obeys the law of my thought. The end is contained in the beginning, and the beginning in the end.
Then God extends a book of living fire. It burns, yet does not consume.
Take this and write, be the scribe of eternity. Through you shall wisdom pass to the generations of men, for the flood will come, and many things will be lost. But my word through your hand shall not perish.
Enoch trembles, receiving the fiery book. His eyes blaze with divine fire as he writes. Thus God entrusted Enoch with the secret of creation itself. And from that hour, the man became the scribe of the Lord of spirits, the keeper of mysteries, the witness of eternity, the return of Enoch. When the vision was complete and the book of fire entrusted, the Lord spoke once more.
Enoch, faithful scribe, return now to your house upon the earth. Declare to your sons all that you have seen and heard. Teach them my wisdom, for soon I will call you back to me.
And the angels clothed Enoch again in garments of flesh, though his face still shone with radiance. They set him down in the place from which he had been taken. Enoch appears suddenly in his dwelling. His family, astonished, rush to him.
Father, the light clings to your face. What has become of you?
Enoch, gentle, yet with authority, told them,
Do not fear, my son. The Lord has shown me wonders and given me a command. Gather your brothers, and let all the people come, that I may speak what was written for the generations.
And for 30 days Enoch spoke unceasingly, recounting the creation of the world, the orders of the heavens, and the ways of righteousness. He instructed his sons in wisdom, appointing Methuselah as the heir of truth.
Keep these words and walk in them, for the Lord will bring a great flood upon the earth, and only the righteous shall be preserved.
When his days of teaching were fulfilled, the voice of God called once more.
Enoch, my beloved, rise now and come to me. You shall be for eternity in the heights of heaven, and no death shall lay hold of you.
And the angels descended, taking Enoch in their arms. Before the eyes of his children he was lifted up, not as before in secret, but openly, a testimony to all. Methuselah said, crying out,
Truly, the Lord has taken my father.
Thus Enoch walked with God, and was no more upon the earth. Yet his words remained, a lamp for generations, a witness of the mysteries of heaven. Thus ended the journey of Enoch, the man who walked with God, who beheld the secrets of creation, and who was taken into eternity without tasting death. His words endure, calling every generation to wisdom, faith, and awe before the Almighty. If these mysteries stirred your spirit, share them with others. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let more seekers discover the hidden truths.